And we're live Tuesday night live from Eastern Outdoors. Welcome everyone who is watching from around the world, the millions of fans. We're one less fan today because I had to block somebody for being a moron. One less today, but you know what? We're better off for it. Michael, I'm so glad you're here with your Raw Frozen Scent shirt, your Antler Builder hat. How's it going? And what kind of mug is that?
This is a mug that I actually got on vacation. It's another
Oh,
Broken Egg Cafe. I
I
don't know
was
if
gonna
you've
make
all
fun
been
of you.
there.
Look kind of,
But
yeah, look
it's
kind of girly.
well that
It's a
place is awesome
souvenir.
because you can get shrimp omelets, man.
Nice. I can't wait
Yeah,
to go to. We're going to Tybee Island. Man, I've been trying to post them in our Facebook stories. A question: if you ever been to Tybee Island looking for fishing advice, and here's where you can let me know. And I've posted it 3 times, and it keeps denying it. I don't know why. Something with to do with the comments. Jimmy Carroll is here. Hello, brothers. Jimmy, how are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Jimmy's got some health things going on. I don't know if you know that, Mike, but
I did not know that.
yeah, let's keep Jimmy in our prayers that everything goes well. We love him. He's one of our favorites, and so we want to make sure that we keep him around. So, uh
Jimmy, we'll be praying for you, buddy.
oh, trying to fix my light back here. Um, Scott Butler said it wasn't me. No idea what he's talking about. It probably was him if he said it wasn't.
The moron that got blocked.
It was not Scott. I would never block Scott. Never do that. No, it was a guy named Greg who was really talking bad about Josh and John Allen.
Yep.
That's why I blocked him. He was acting like he was talking about regs at Fort Campbell. And then I was like, hey, we have a couple guys that are soldiers at Fort Campbell. They know what they're talking about. Well, just because you're a soldier, don't. I was like, just forget it. I just blocked him. So he was the same guy last week that was talking about how we were going to destroy Fort Knox by having Dane on to talk about his bucks. So anyway,
Mhm.
what a loser. James Evans says, hey guys, hey James, how you doing, my friend? PK says, what's up, John and Mike? How you doing? Good to see you, PK. We don't see you much anymore. I've been talking to PK lately. Glad you're here, brother. PK said, what's the topic tonight? We're going to talk about deer. Pennsylvania did a thing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have a guest on from Hinton Mills to talk about their deer event. We're just going to talk all things deer, PK.
Yep.
You never know where it's going to go. You never know where the conversation is going to go. What's up, fellas? Hey, I'm thinking that's Brent. Thanks for being here, my friend. Better get them deer chores done. Season is coming up quick.
A lot. Yeah, it's
It
coming up
sure
fast.
is. It sure is. Good thing you blocked him. He was about to get it. Josh had it right in two comments for one sentence there from Joshua. How's those plots coming along, Mike? Mike, give everybody an update on your plots.
Yeah. You know what? We're really excited about it. I know we have our cornfields doing really well. Actually, I got a picture from my uncle today. He went up and checked on them, looking pretty good. The antler builder stuff's coming in, looking pretty good. It's got a mixture of sunflowers, millet, sorghum, soybeans. Definitely a plethora of summer forage in that. But it's looking good. I'm super jacked about our cornfield. We've never done a cornfield before, and I think that's going to be a good addition to the farm. I'm really excited about it.
Nice. Speaking of food plots, August 5th, Mike and I will be at Hinton Mills in Plummer's Landing. I was trying to think of the location, doing a countdown to deer season event. If you want to come join us, Mike is actually going to be talking on some kind of like this little group discussion, like a panel.
Mm-hmm.
And then Adam asked me to be the moderator so I can keep everybody in line. Make sure
Nice.
you don't talk too much, or I'm going to ask the questions. So that'll be fun. That's going to be a great event. They're going to have door prizes. They have a one-shot archery tournament that's like $5. Winner takes prizes and money and whatnot. Going to be a good time. Kyle here mentioned the Pennsylvania research project. So Pennsylvania, the one that I've been reading, Pennsylvania started in 2013. So 10 years. It's still ongoing. They're doing it. 247 collared deer. And they're doing it to learn more about deer behavior, but also on growth, tree growth, and forest growth, and things like that. And there's a
Wow.
lot of good conclusions that have come from this. And I just learned about it here recently. It's been 10 years, so that's a pretty extensive research project there. Sorry, I was reading a text. Let's see. This person, maybe that's Barrett, maybe that's Brent, planting around 5 acres of beans and corns this year. That sounds good. Good for the deer. The thing about we're currently in the bait ban. You cannot put out bait in Kentucky. No kind of corn feed, nothing like that. But they're highly encouraging to put out your food plots and to do things to your habitat that are good for not just deer, but all wildlife. So make sure to do that. PK said, hey, do a plug on the deer camp. So October 8th through 10th, I believe. Is that right? Or
yep.
6th through 8th.
Let's double check here on the old calendar.
I may have put the wrong dates on there.
It's that first weekend, so 6th through the 8th.
6th through the 8th. Okay. October 6th through the 8th, we're going to be, and I don't know, Mike's not said either way. I'm guessing he may not be able to make it. I don't know, Mike.
No, I think I should be able to. Yeah.
Are you out on bear season archery, though?
I'm working it out. I'm going to try to go because I really want to.
That's close to Mike's anniversary.
It's on my anniversary, but hey, we'll figure it out.
Let's have to come down.
That's what I told her. I said, let's go hiking down there. I mean,
rent a side-by-side. Be a great weekend.
Hey, I proposed on Ravens Rock down in the gorge. So, I mean,
there you go.
Outdoors.
There you go. Absolutely. What year is this? 13, 12?
Yeah, 12.
12. There you go. So, anyway, but October 6th through 8th, Mike and I, hopefully Mike, definitely me, PK, some other folks, followers of Eastern Outdoors. We're going to be at Peabody WMA just like last year. We're hosting a public land deer camp. I've got Onyx is giving everyone a free membership to Onyx. I've got Uncle Lee's is giving everyone gift bags like they did last year. They gave gift cards last year too. Hopefully those
awesome.
Will still be in there. And coupons to save like 10% on your purchase. So you can use a gift card and save 10%. So we're capping it at 25 people. That way Uncle Lee's knows what to donate. Onyx knows what to donate. Onyx is sponsoring all of our events with memberships and money for me to like go buy food or whatever we need. Excuse me. So we have about 10 people signed up. There are 15 people. 15 spots available, and I'm not including me and Mike and Josh and John Allen in those 15, so it could be almost 30 people. And I know for a fact there's a few people that are going to sign up that haven't, so there's probably actually about 10 spots available. So if you want to join us, it'll be a fun time. Another reason why, like earlier today, I blocked someone from our page because we don't want people that are worthy of being blocked. So we want good people there. And last year we had a blast.
It was a lot of fun, man. I absolutely loved it.
It was a lot of fun. So I'm sure that this year will be even better. And hopefully you guys can join us. Even if like WO, who is always on here, don't know if he's on here right now. I've not been filtering through the comments. WO said, hey, I'm going to come. I'm probably not going to camp, but I'm going to come hang out with you guys.
That's cool.
So I think last year Logan Snyder came. He camped. But he didn't hunt Peabody. He had some private land nearby that he hunted. So we got room for everyone. If you want to just come hang out, Loman Scarborough came and hung out for a while last year. If you want to come hang out, hang out. If you want to come and stay 3 days, stay 3 days. It's fine. So Josh said him and WO are going to fish that weekend. Football cheer season kills it for me, unfortunately. Yeah,
it's tough.
I used to live that life, Brent, coaching football all the time. Whew. Where's you at? All right, so we got a lot of people that we're going to talk about. Where do you sign up, John? Brent, go to our page, and you'll see the sign up is probably like 2 or 3 posts ago.
Yep.
You can't miss it. So go there, and if you can't find it, Barrett, I think I called him Brent. Barrett, if you can't find it, just let me know, and I'll tag you in it. Let's see what else. Where is Peabody? Peabody is in where we're staying is in Graham, Kentucky, near Central City, Kentucky. Where I'm at in Frankfort, it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes from me. It's just Western Kentucky. It's past Bowling Green. It's before you get to the lakes. I don't know what else to say. That's about it.
Yeah. From Northern Kentucky, it's a good distance from Northern Kentucky, probably about 4 hours or so.
Yeah, and so there's 44,000 acres at Peabody. If you drive about 30 more minutes west, you can be at Pennyroyal, which is 17,000 acres. If you drive an hour west, you can be at Land Between the Lakes, which is tens of thousands of acres. Don't know, it's big. North of Peabody is a new WMA called Henry Dickerson, maybe something like that. It's like 700 acres, but there were some good deer killed there last year. If you want to drive, an hour drive will take you to some of the best public land hunting in the entire state.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do like us and drive 5 minutes and hunt, right? So plenty of hunting for everyone. And I promise you, during that weekend, archery season, nobody goes, right? People don't want to hunt in September because it's hot. They don't want to hunt in October because of the lull. So they usually wait till like those last week of October through November to hunt. And rarely, Muhlenberg County, Ohio. It's also in Ohio County, some parts in Hopkins County. So rarely do we run into people or do we have to detour from our plan to hunt. We're usually can go where we want.
Yep.
And we'll be up there scouting. And look, if you show up and you say, man, I know nothing about this place, we'll send you somewhere. And we'll have some pins. It may work out, it may not, but you'll have a good time. And Butler. So it covers 4 counties, Muhlenberg, Ohio, Hopkins, and Butler. Our resident deer expert, Kyle Sands, coming through. How many hours from Moorhead? Well, I'm an hour from Moorhead. So 3.5-ish probably. Yep. So, all right, we'll get back to the deer camp. We do have a guest waiting in the wings. We'll say the green room. He's waiting in the green room, ready to talk about this event with Antler Builder at Hinton Mills. So I know some of you are going to try to come out. So if you have questions, he's going to stay down here. He's not going to stay the whole show. He's just going to show up, and they're going to come back next Tuesday and talk about it again and plug that. And you can catch. We'll have hopefully some videos about it, photos about it, and you can always reach out to me or Mike with questions. So
Absolutely.
Here is the man, the Hinton himself, Adam Hinton. Adam, how you doing, my friend?
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, Adam.
Great.
I need me like a brick background like that. Oh, I just spilled my water. I need me. That's a brick background is the way to go. It's like
That's
neutral.
Perfect.
It's kind of manly and tough,
Old buildings. You gotta live in an old building to have a brick background. So
yeah. Speaking of old buildings, Hinton Mills, you guys have been around for over 100 years. Is that right?
105 years this year.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's for a while. So
yeah, that's Jimmy says welcome, Adam. Adam, you have a lot of visitors or viewers here today. We'll have plenty of people watching this afterward. So tell everybody a little about yourself. You are not the sole owner or founder of Antler Builder, but one of the guys that has created this amazing product. Mike and I are huge fans. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about Antler Builder, just the brief version.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on again. The background on Antler Builder, so we're at Hinton Mills. I guess I should start there. Our family business. I'm 4th generation of that business. So we're in the farm supply business, the animal nutrition business. So the bulk of our business historically has been cattle here in Eastern Kentucky, but we've got about a 30 county territory, 6 locations, and so the way that Antler Builder kind of started is a conversation a lot of people in 2020 kind of stir crazy that year, and my wife and daughter and I had bought a farm, and we're just really enjoying everything about it, but in particular the wildlife. And so I was talking to, there's a couple of our good buddies that are now partners in this Antler Builder endeavor, and basically just wanting to try to come up with the perfect blend. If you're in the cattle business, you're always trying to put weight on cattle, and you're thinking about if you've got a cow that's getting ready to calf, that you're wanting to have good milk production for the cow, or wanting to get that cow bred back. So we were just looking at it from a nutritional standpoint of deer, And one of our partners, Brent Williams with Berkman Mills, they're based out of Danville, Kentucky. They've been in the feed business a long time too. But anyway, he was telling me about this blend that he was playing around with and some of the things that he was doing. And we started talking about some of the issues that we were seeing in deer and trying to, we had talked about research that we were doing, products that we were using on cattle, natural insecticides, and trying to combine that into this feed. And so anyway, in 2020, we hit a home run with Antler Builder Extreme. It was just unbelievable. The results, the pictures that we were getting on our cameras. And so over the last 3 years, I've been able to witness the growth. This is, you know, it's not deer in captivity. These are just deer out on our farm. And so it started with us just getting product in the hands of, you know, friends and neighbors and other people that were interested in deer. And so over the course of that next year, we were like, man, we got to start selling this. So that's how it started. And then a guy named Kelly Manning, you guys have met Kelly several times. He's with Central Farm Supply based out of Louisville. So they're a huge supplier. One of the main products that they've supplied us with over the years is seed, usually hay and pasture seed, things for around the farm. Again, kind of often horse or cattle focused. And basically they were talking about a lot of the research that they were doing on products for deer on plot seed mixes. So over the course of the years, we've got a feed product, the Antler Builder Extreme. I know that you guys have used that. We've got Antler Builder Essentials, which again, both of these things are attractants, but it's trying to have a product for every time of year and kind of every occasion. And then we've got into the plot seeds, and now there's block, and there's a molasses product that is more of an attractant. It doesn't have as much nutritional value, but we've got it all. And so it's been a lot of fun. We're 3 Kentucky-based family-owned businesses that have come together and just kind of taken our passion and interest for the outdoors and deer and started creating our own products coming from a nutritional background.
Yeah, so you guys have a cool story. 3 very successful local businesses coming together to create successful products. So let's run through the products real quick. On the seed side, you have the spring summer mix. You have like a fall winter mix. Yep. Is that the only 2 mixes you have? Do you have other individual products?
There's a deer clover blend. That's a mix of different clovers, and I've got a plot at my farm. Clover is doing really well this year. If you guys have got any clover out, the weather that we've had and the rainfall that we've had, everything's just matched up well with those type of products. And then we've got turnips, radishes. So those are the mixes that we've got right now. And 2 of them are straight ingredients, and the other 3 are mixes. But was just checking out the spring summer mix, and just checking it out at the farm just now. And when we came back through, we counted 10 deer tonight. So there was 4 babies. So I was a little late getting here because my wife and daughter didn't want to leave. We were watching the babies play. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's honestly, if it wasn't for the summer and like pre-fall ability to see deer in all these fields, I don't think we would get as excited for deer season, because every time you see that, you just get more and more amped, or at least I do. We post a picture from today from Western Kentucky of like 10 bucks just standing all together. And if you're familiar with that area out in Fort Campbell, those are the little bucks. Yeah. I mean, those are bucks that people are shooting. Those are little bucks compared to that. So you've got the mix. You've got the seed product. You've got the Antler Builder Extreme, which is the mix of corn and sunflower seeds and all that mixing in there.
Yeah, it's a complete feed. So it was just it's like if you had a show cattle, or that you were raising dairy cattle, or whatever the case may be. It's not just a corn-based product. It's something that is a complete feed that deer could live on that product. So a lot of people will use it. It was designed originally as the basis of it was a high fence product that they were doing for folks kind of all over the country. Yeah. And we started adding products with Brent's help, started adding products. They do a lot of nutritional work for the feed that we sell at Hinton Mills. That's kind of our connectivity to Berkman, is buying ingredients and some of the nutritional work that they do for us. And yeah, it's a complete feed, and then the essentials is the mineral.
It's the minerals, and you guys, when you first started, you just had the bag of minerals, which that's my favorite product. I don't use a lot of feed, just because I don't have a lot of places to put it. But I have places I can put minerals. People let me do that, or a lot of times if I'm in Eastern Kentucky and I put the feed out, it is just wallered in by bears. And they literally, I mean, they'll eat it, of course, but they'll just lay there on their backs in it for hours. And I don't know why they do that. Maybe Kyle, if he's still on here, he can tell us. But the minerals, they don't do that way. So it works better for me, places that I'm allowed to put it out. I love the minerals. I really love the smell. I mean, if you just open it up, you can smell through the bag, but it's just an incredible smelling product. And then, but you guys, I guess in year 2 came out with the molasses block. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but just a mineral block. And really, we probably should have done this a couple months ago, because with the ban on baiting for another week, I mean, those are the things that we need to have out anyway.
Yeah, I'm excited that, when we talk about the event here in a minute, that's going to be a component of it. We've invited Kentucky Fish and Wildlife to give us clarity. So they're going to be a part of this event that we're having on August the 5th, and going to help clear up what is the new regulation, what's the ban, what it includes, what it doesn't include, what it really means. But yeah, the block, again, when we've got a complete feed that folks can start feeding. In most cases, you can't start feeding until August 1st in Kentucky this year, but there are some, and they'll talk about some of those things. Commissioner Rich Storm from Kentucky Fish and Wildlife and his director of wildlife. I've not met Ben, but Ben Robinson will be there as well. And they're going to be telling us, and there are some occasions it sounds like that you can feed depending on certain circumstances. And then, of course, the deer plot, that's kind of where we see the most growth and the most opportunity, and that's is putting the plot seed out there. But depending on what your situation is, you don't want to invest a lot in a plot if it's a place that you've got leased and you don't have any certainty that you'll have it in the future. Just trying to have a product for all occasions. And then the molasses is much more of just just trying to get deer to start hitting something pretty quick. And so we'll mix it with a lot of stuff. That's what we're doing. We're mixing it with something else, pour it on a block to get them to find the block quicker, and then start hitting the block and coming back. And I know that Mike has used a lot of the mineral, and this year I think that Stacy Weiss, one of my kind of partners in crime with Antler Builder, came up, and that you guys, how's your plot doing? Is it doing okay?
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. It's real thick from what my uncle was telling me. I've not been down to the farm, but he's kind of been updating me as the weeks go by before I can get back down. But he said it's getting really thick. He said it's about as tall as he is. Is yours tall?
Mine's getting tall, and today was the first day, literally yesterday or the day before. I don't know if I was there last night or if it was the night before. The sunflower seeds were not bloomed out, but today they were starting to bloom out everywhere. I saw probably a dozen, 15, maybe 20 sunflower seeds that had just fully bloomed out. So
wow, that's cool.
It's really cool. And that's where there was 2 does and 2 babies just kind of hanging out on the outskirts of that. So that's part of the group that we saw tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say I've got some of the clover as well. I bought some clover the last time we were down. Fact is, I think I bought some clover while I was at the event last year. So that's a good opportunity to get some supplies for deer season, especially your late fall plots, your turnips, your clovers, your radishes, and things of that nature, the winter mix. But I put out some clover. I saw somebody in the comments just a little bit ago talk about wanting to do a small area, and it sounds like it was in a wooded, shaded area. Just a few minutes ago, I saw that pop up. Something that we did in a very small area. It's along a creek. I call it the horseshoe field. It's probably 1/4 of an acre, if that. We clear it out every year. Well, with clover, you don't have to do it every year. You can just kind of maintain it with mowing a little bit or spraying. But we threw some of that out last fall, and the clover, like you said, it looks absolutely terrific. It looks awesome. So, I was just going to suggest to that person, can't remember who it was just a little bit ago, mentioned that they had a small area. Some Antler Builder clover, perfect for an area like that, specifically a small area too. And that's a good attractant because deer love clover.
Yeah, and we, the thing about the product is really, it's I mean, you guys have heard these stories and probably have maybe stories yourself or people that that there was something that they were that was working for them, and they're telling other folks. In this case, it just happens to be stuff that we were dabbling with and making ourselves. And again, just coming at it from, for 105 years, that's how we've stayed in business, is trying to help. My dad always says that, we're not profitable if our customers are not profitable. So on the agriculture side of things, on the farming side of things, I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is match people up with the products that they need for their specific situation. And that's exactly the route that we're taking. The Antler Builder is just trying to come at it from a nutritional animal health side of things. It just so happens that they also have strong attractants in them and things that help on the insect side of things that we've seen a lot of positives. You guys know that I saw a picture somebody had posted recently of just the ticks that were, I mean, that's sad when you see a deer that's just ate up with that. And hopefully some of the testimonials that we'll get on August the 5th will be people talking about the difference that they've seen on that side of things. You'll have some freak occurrences where there's something that's just ate up with ticks, but for the most part, there's one of the folks that is coming on the 5th does taxidermy work, and they're talking about it from a very unique perspective about how important it is to be able to protect the hide of the deer for what they do, and about how the natural insecticide helps with that. So, but you guys, I do want to give you both a shout out. I appreciate that you guys are both going to be there on the 5th, and John is going to be serving as the moderator for our panel discussion, and Mike's going to be a part of the team on one of the panels. And so we've got some really cool stuff, a lot of stuff locked in today, maybe since I last talked to you guys. So really excited about what we got going on, and hope that some of the folks listening and watching tonight will be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what I want to do before we say anything else. I want to actually show people some results that you saw last year. I think this was last year, may have been 2 years ago. I think you did. I don't even know if you were aware of this when it came out, but North American Hunter did a story on a Kentuckian who killed this is the second 197-inch deer we've had the last 2 weeks. Dangerous. Killed one last year on Fort Knox. We had him on this week. So this week I'm going to show you this picture here. This was a 197-inch deer, non-typical. You can see he's got some shedding there. He's on his antlers, 197.5-inch. Took this guy 7 sits. But the one thing I wanted to show, that's a good picture there.
Wow.
Was that right there? Look what happened. Look what popped up in one of the photos. Adam, I don't even think you knew about this.
No, did you? No, not until it came out. Somebody sent me that magazine. So yeah, it was North American Whitetail magazine, and they sent that to me in that article. Yeah, that article. So I've actually not met Kenny Crosby, but he's going to be one of the folks. It's the guy that killed this deer is going to be on this on the panel. Awesome. One of the panels that we're having on the 5th, and so he was using the product. He was not buying it through Hinton Mills. Antler Builder is available at, it's really blown up as far as where you can get it. There's over 100 retailers that you can purchase the product at, or various products at, and so we're really excited about how it's grown organically. We've not done a lot of marketing. That's what I was telling you guys, is that we've got awesome product, awesome people, awesome distribution, and we got to get better as a marketing company. I don't know how many people tell me that, man, this is working so awesome for me. I can't wait till more people find out about this and kind of, learn the news.
Yeah, I think one thing we need to do, man, is every time we have you on here, people are asking about locations. And I think we always say, well, we need to ask Stacy. We just need to make a list, don't we?
Yeah.
We just need to make a list of all locations. And I'm sure you guys are adding to them quite often. So
maybe by next week we can get a list that you can just pop up all the places that you can get it, not just in Kentucky, but in all the surrounding states too. Yeah. So if you got guys listening elsewhere.
Do you foresee a time where you'll sell it online?
Yeah, I think so.
I think blow up. I think that's when it'll really blow up.
Yeah, I think that there'll be products that we sell online, the things that are more easily shipped. And so we've got people that are in their states west of the Mississippi right now that are trying to get the product, and we're trying to figure out that distribution. We don't have that network west of the Mississippi right now. So it's fun. It's exciting. This is cool. And then you also got to keep in mind, this is for all of us. This is not our primary thing. You guys know how that is, where you're trying to. But what we're really, really excited about it is that's what makes it go, and we're really excited to get more people hooked up with it. So
Josh said he's looking for some winter wheat blend. Is that something you offer? Is that in your mix, in the winter mix?
No, but keep in mind, so we have winter wheat, and we have that available. So any of the blends that we have, most of the places that you're going to buy it are farm supply stores like Hinton Mills. You don't have to buy Antler Builder at Hinton Mills. You can buy it somewhere else. Almost any place that you buy it will have something like a winter wheat, or that you can kind of customize your own blend. Use our blend as the base, and then you'll have some informed person at that location that can tell you how you need to, what percentage. But if you come on the 5th, we'll plan on having some sort of winter wheat there, Josh, if you're there on August the 5th.
Good deal. I know one thing, I don't have land like Mike does to plant, but Fish and Wildlife, there's a piece of public that I hunted 2 years ago, and that's the contract you need to get. You need to get a contract with those guys. But there's a piece of public I hunted 2 seasons ago, and they had planted turnips and radishes. And I'd never hunted over that before. And the deer were everywhere. I mean, they cover that place. And deer tracks, actually, it came an ice storm. I don't know, I guess 2 winters ago, it came a huge ice storm, snowstorm. And I was out there hunting an hour from my house. It's about an hour drive from my house. I had to leave early because I was afraid to drive in there. It took me 4 hours to get home. That's how bad the snow was. But if I could have stayed probably another hour, the very next day my buddy was there, and there was like 5 bucks. Smallest was an 8-pointer right out there in those turnips and radishes. So if I had land, that's what I'd be buying for the winter. I don't know anyone else.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, John. I've planted Antler Built, and I actually have some still here at the house in a bin, but I'm going to buy more when I'm down at the event on Saturday, August 5th.
Turnips and radishes.
Oh yeah, and here's why. Because there's 2 things that it's going to do for you. It's going to provide you the lab, or I like to call it the big broadleaves in the early season that the deer are going to be eating. And then once it starts frosting and things, and those sugars go into the tubers and stuff, the turnips
like
and also the radish.
Right?
It's like candy. But the secondary thing, so you can hunt all those things, and then the secondary cool thing, and I kid you not, every time I plant turnips and radishes, I find sheds. I find sheds in February and March. It never fails. So there's you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. You can hunt over it, and then you can find your sheds later on. So it's pretty cool.
I'm so excited about this that I actually emailed last week the land manager and asked him if they were going to be planning that again this year. Because last year they switched it up, and I was like, oh, dude, tell me. And this year he said it might be turnips and radishes. So he's going to email me back when they decide. I can't wait. I mean, and Christopher said he's thinking about doing it. I would do it, Chris. I know nothing about land management, but I know that stuff works. And if you come to the event Saturday, you can get some.
And there's going to be plenty there, right, Adam?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited about this event because everybody knows if you're in Kentucky, I know that a lot of the folks that listen to your show, watch your show, are outside of Kentucky, but in Kentucky, we've had a new feed regulation. They added on two more summer months. And so for those of you that are waiting for August 1st to roll around, where you can start feeding and kind of get a better inventory of what you've got at your property or wherever you're hunting, it's really exciting. So we're going to have some specials. We've got, I don't know if I told you guys this, you guys still there? I lost you for a second. I see you now.
We're here.
50 door prizes on the 5th. So there's going to be bags of feed, bags of seed, bags of mineral. And the way that we're doing it, we've got 3 sessions. Plus, you guys, you were there last year, Mike, and a couple of years ago, you there, John. We do a single shot archery tournament. You pay for each shot. And it's all a fundraiser for the local archery team. There's a youth category and an adult category. But for each session that you attend, 3 sessions, and if you participate in the archery tournament, for each one of those, you get a ticket for a door prize. So we've got 50 door prizes that we're going to give out.
Prizes are at the end.
Yeah, door prizes will be at the end, and you'll have.
You have to be present to win.
We probably won't have. We probably will not make you have to be present. It's a 4-hour deal that day. We started at 8 to noon. The talking won't be that entire time. The first hour will just be for people that want to participate in archery, and then we'll take a couple of breaks. But 3 sessions you're moderating. One of them, John, the panel discussion with just guys that are hunters and guides, people that are using the Antler Builder product. Other session is Brent Williams and Kelly Manning talking about each one of the products and just kind of the breaking it down from kind of an animal health nerd side of things of what about these products are good, and then also just kind of breaking down a price comparison to other products, and why you should be feeding this. This is what we do again on the livestock side of things all the time, just trying to break down why you should be feeding this product and why it's saving you money. And then the third thing will be that session with the folks from Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. And one of the things that we've asked them to talk about, they're going to be talking about everything from programs that are available for private lands, just kind of the general overview of the wildlife population. They're even going to, if they have time, get into another topic that I like, get into talking about fish and feeding fish a little bit. But really, we've just asked them to come and talk about this change in wildlife regs and how you can get around that. So you may not be able to feed grain, but you can be feeding mineral, you can be feeding plots, and then we'll go through an entire calendar year of what type of products that you can be using to be able to grow your animals, grow your herd, grow the antlers, but also just have a healthier herd, healthier fawns, and for those of you that just like to just enjoy watching the wildlife, we'll have stuff for you too.
Yeah, I saw today. I think for me, as someone that hunts mostly public land, I take hunting season by season. But anyone that owns land or leases land, you need a comprehensive plan. Like you need to be looking at 3 to 5 years instead of just like me, season to season, right? And so in this study that we were going to talk about tonight, which we'll probably talk about a lot throughout the whole season, is that out of all the deer that they collared, 90% of the deer that made it through hunting season were back in the same spot the following season. And so, like we know some guys that manage their own land. Mike, I can't think of the guy's name that literally has killed 150-inch deer like 5 years in a row.
Jonathan Stewart.
Yep. Yeah, we both thought of it. So, I mean, that is a guy that we need to have on that has a comprehensive plan where he is killing huge bucks every year. And so those are the folks that need to be at the event. So, for instance, somebody like Philip, I don't know where Philip lives. He might live in far western Kentucky where he can't make it on Saturday. But, he has a great question. And if you have questions like that, you've got a panel discussion. You've got, guys, like you said, the nerd talk about the product. That sounds like something Mike would like, was like getting into the weeds of the product. And I might go around and talk, socialize during that one, but Mike will love it. And then, Fish and Wildlife. A lot of people have complained about the ban on baiting.
Yeah.
This is the time to show up and get some clarification. So anyway, I think anyone that has land, that has a plan or if you don't have a plan, you want to implement one, this is a great event to where you can not only learn, but you can literally take the products back and get started. Mm-hmm. And I told somebody today that when you're doing something, the hardest part is getting started. And so you guys are really helping put that everybody's best foot forward and go ahead and do it. Scott said, John, you do have to hit the target. I'm not doing the archery shot, Scott. Scott is what you call a what is it when you go to stand-up comedy? You got those guys, haggler. Is that what it is? Or
instigator?
Yeah, he's like just always in the audience just saying stuff. So anyway, Mike and Adam, maybe you guys can answer this. He said he wants to plant turnips and radishes. What's the best environment? Do they want dry and no shade? Also, when are you planting? That was my question. I don't know when heckler, that's it. I don't know when these when you're supposed to put these things in the ground. What do you think, Mike? Go ahead. We'll start with you.
Yeah, we typically down on our farm we have creek bottoms in much of our place. John, you've been there, so we have a lot of fields that kind of go they kind of ride the creek, if you will, right on the side of the creeks, along the creeks. So that soil is typically pretty good. It's typically not super dry down there. Obviously, just
Right.
down on the bottoms, we get a little. It's somewhat shaded.
Dry this summer, I know that. It's flooded this summer.
Yeah, in some occasions. But the soil kind of, we get a little bit of like wetness and dryness depending on how much rain we're getting. And obviously, we've had a little bit more recently this year. But we get, honestly, where we put it, there is some shade. So they get a little bit of shade, a little bit of sun. I'd say 4 to 6 hours of sun at least, probably. And I wouldn't go full shade, but some shade is okay. And we typically plant in mid to late August. And we typically get it coming in pretty good. And by the time we hit looks like we lost John for a minute. By the time we hit October, it's usually kind of greening up. You get those big leafy tops on them, and then you'll see those bulbs start to appear and kind of take off from there. Adam, what's your experience with those?
Well, I'm gonna give you two answers. One is come August the 5th, talk to Kelly Manning. Kelly is the seed side of Antler Builder, and he's going to give you a better answer than I'm going to be able to give you. But what I will tell you is, so back in what I don't know what date, it was sometime in May. I think you and Stacy Weiss, Stacy's with Antler Builder. He does test plots and just a lot of networking and a lot of our pictures and all that stuff. That's Stacy. He's ate up with deer hunting. He's a guide. He goes to Kansas every year, has a company that does guides out there. But anyway, in May, when you guys planted your plot, we planted a plot the same time at our place, and he had some leftover turnip seeds from that he had planted at his place. And so he had these turnip seeds, and he said, I'm gonna scatter some of these out there. Well, on the back of his four-wheeler, he'd spilt some of these turnip seeds. And so fast forward to, I'm going to say it was sometime this past month. So it was about 2 months. And my wife, we've got 2 camper spots on our farm, and she was at the one camper spot, and it's all gravel. Not only is it gravel, underneath the gravel, it has a fabric to help hold keep the gravel up. And she was seeing these things pop up, and she's like, what the heck is this? I sprayed earlier this year with Roundup. What are these things popping up? And so my daughter grabs a hold and starts pulling on one, and it's these turnips. So it was rocky. I mean, it was soil that was just, it's not very good soil. It was like clay soil underneath where we had kind of scraped off with the skid steer before we put this fabric and rock. They're growing in the fabric and rock and clay soil. So my experience is that they're pretty durable and that they'll grow. You probably hit the nail on the head as far as what is as a best case situation. But a lot of these things are, seed. They're surprisingly durable. And you know how dry that it was this summer from May until we finally started getting some rain in July. It started popping up. So, come August 5th, let Kelly tell you, answer that question better. Let some of the folks on the panel answer that better. But one other thing that I would offer up is, whether that's this week, I don't know how we get these questions, but if there's folks not able to attend, maybe we can get some of the questions from this week and next week and forward that on to some of the folks in advance and make sure that we ask those to the folks in the panel discussion, ask Kelly and Brent during their session. I hope that folks will just come out for themselves. And if you're as excited as I am about deer season and getting into the fall, just come out and hang out with fellow outdoorsmen. It'll be a good crowd of folks on the 5th.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Mike and I'll be there. A lot of people much smarter than Mike and I will be there. So if you want to learn more, if you want to have a good time, win some prizes, and it's a great opportunity to shoot your bow. What is it, 50 yards?
I don't know if I could tell you what it is. The high school runs that. It seems like it's 50 yards. And it's like maybe $2 a shot for youth and $5 for the adults. And there's a nice prize pack that's an Antler Builder prize pack. It'll be good fun. And the other thing that I want to plug is I want to give props to Commissioner Rich Storm. They're coming out. They're not hiding. We asked them to come out to the event. Said, hey, a lot of people they just don't understand this new feed ban, what it means, what it doesn't mean. Kind of the why behind it. How did this happen? Would you guys be willing to come out and answer questions? So I love it when people kind of handle things head on. If you've not met Rich, I know that you guys have. That you and he know each other well, John. But Rich he's a good guy. Like I said, I don't know Ben Robinson, the wildlife director that's coming with him, but I think it's awesome that they're coming. They're going to answer questions not just about the feed ban, but whatever people want to know.
Any questions you have,
So.
Any questions? So, yeah, awesome, man. I can't wait. It's just a good precursor to deer season, and I'm excited. I'm leaving for the beach on Saturday. I'll be back on Friday, and then we're coming to the event on Saturday. So it's going to be an eventful week for me. I can't wait.
Awesome.
So, well, Adam,
we appreciate
you, brother, and we'll let you go. And you be on next week. You gonna send somebody else? How are we gonna do that?
We're gonna have some folks on next week, and are we gonna be on with Mike? Is that right?
Yeah, I'll be on.
Are you gonna be doing it from the beach?
From the beach.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah.
Unless we're catching a shark. Yeah, unless we're out there catching a shark, we plan to fish every night. But I'll be on there Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll have some folks on there. I don't know if I'll be on with them or not, but we'll have some folks for you. Somebody more exciting than me next week, and we'll have more details about the event. Appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you guys on the 5th, and anybody that's joined tonight. Look forward to meeting you guys on August the 5th.
Absolutely. All right, man. Have a good week. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
See you.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, Adam Hinton. Appreciate him coming on. I'm sure he's been working all day, but it's going to be a fun event. We had fun last time. And we kind of just sat there last time and tried to get people on. This time I want to be up and active, talking to folks. PK has a question. Then if you're still on here with us, I do have an announcement that I think some of you are going to be interested in. And our viewers are dwindling here, but if you're hang on, because this will be the I'm not posted about this event yet that we're going to do. So PK says, just a question for everyone. He's wanting to ask everyone: do you just plan on shooting the biggest buck you can, or are you just wanting to take an opportunity to kill something that comes your way? I'll go first. I'm not going to kill a deer that is I don't know exactly how to say it. I don't care how big the antlers are, but at the same time, I don't want to kill something that, I'm going to see frequently. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you a good example. There have been many, many times on public land that I've seen small bucks, like a little 6-pointer that's like barely a 6-pointer, a little spike or something like that. I've never shot at those, even though I've had a chance. Sometimes I regret it. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have. But at the same time, I'm not waiting on a Pope and Young. Hey, Mike, you can bring them on. Mike, you can tell them to leave, whatever. Just talk to your kids however harshly you want to on here. It's fine. I can hear them creaking the door. But I'm not going to be waiting just to kill a Pope and Young or Boone and Crockett buck. I will kill something that I think is respectable. If it's a decent 6-pointer, if it's a decent 8-pointer, kind of like Fort Knox rules, right? If it's right at the ears, then that's respectable. If it's small and it's a spike or it's a little 4-pointer, I feel like those are frequent. I see those quite a bit, and so I don't feel like I have to shoot one. Last day of the season, I don't know. Maybe I changed my mind. So, Mike, you are killed a lot more deer than I have. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm going to. I have not gotten a buck in over 2 years now, so this will be season 3. Waiting on one that's a mature buck. I'm not a little
picky.
I'm not looking at something that's going to be like the biggest buck ever. I'm just looking for something that might rival something that I've gotten. A buck that I've harvested in the past, or something that may be a little bit bigger. I'm just going to try to be patient and get a mature buck, whatever that may be. So
we did talk last week that a mature buck is not necessarily 160 70-inch buck.
True.
A mature buck is typically 125 to 135 inches is what Deer Research has said a mature buck is. So if you want to kill a mature buck, 125 inches is considered a mature buck, and that's case by case. That could be a 2-year-old buck. I don't know, but for the most part, 85% of mature bucks are 125 to 135 inches. And then as you increase 145, 155, maybe that 15% left that's maybe in the top 10. Or if you get up to like 197, like the guy that we showed that killed it with some antler builder, or the guy last week, you're in the 1% of bucks, right? So I'm going to go with what Gordy said, whatever makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're happy with shooting a spike, or, it depends on what state you're in. You're in Kentucky, you get 1 buck. So that makes you a little more cautious. South Carolina, you get 5. So you may just kill a couple spikes. I don't know, right? $5 in South Carolina, that drives me crazy. I think Tennessee, you get 2, right? So you may take that. Maybe your first one is a small one, or maybe you kill a big one and then a small one. I don't know. It just depends on the situation. Chris said, are y'all coming to Adair County? I'll be at the beach, Chris, so I will not be there. WO says that he is after a mature buck, not necessarily a big rack. Kyle says soybeans are pretty hard to beat in terms of palatability. That's a tough word. And crude protein, but very hard to keep deer out until season comes in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You anybody hunting publicly on opening weekend, they're all hunting edges of soybean fields if they can find them. Let's see. Scott Butler says, all truth, I get my does. Have passed a lot of 130 to 140 inch bucks. So I just got to this. So it's got to be bigger than the biggest he has. So it's kind of like you said, something comparable. Philip needs to learn about food plots. Philip, come out on Saturday, man. You said near Louisville. It's going to be about maybe a 2.5 hour drive for you. It'll be worth it. 8 to 12, make a day of it. So hey, if you're going to go and you're going to do the one shot archery contest, start practicing right now at 50 yards before you go, because I'm pretty sure that's what they did it on last year.
Yeah.
Meat for the freezer. I'm with you, Jeff. Here's the reason PK asked. He said, I'm asking because every deer podcast or show or anything deer related I watch or listen to is all about the biggest deer they will harvest. No offense to anyone, but just to say this hunting scene is starting to feel and sound like it's being political. So I think, the truth is big deer pay the bills. So if someone has a hunting show, they're hunting for big deer. Now, that's one reason why I like the guys at Meat Eater, because I feel like and one reason I like the hunting public. I don't hear them talk about big racks. They do, of course, and everybody wants to kill a big deer. Right? PK is saying that PK wants to kill a big deer. Right? He would love to kill a 197-inch deer. PK would. That's not what he's saying, though. He's just saying it shouldn't be all about that, and I feel like that's why I like Meat Eater. They're more about the hunt, more about embracing the journey. Hunting public's the same way. Those guys probably smell bad half the year. They live out of a trailer. They're not just sitting on someone's ranch on a deer feeder like you might see on the Outdoor Channel. So I understand what PK's saying.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say, Mike, because I want you to talk. I also think that there's kind of a changing of the tide to where more and more people are enjoying the process and enjoying just hunting instead of saying, man, I got to kill a 200-incher. You got two different groups, I think, Mike. Do you agree?
Oh, I absolutely agree. And I do think you're seeing kind of a change in the guard, if you will. It used to be your Buckmasters and, long ago. And then, the
Nothing
real
against those guys.
No, in fact, this dude, I still love watching those. I love watching those. The bone collectors, the big fan of that. And I really enjoy watching those guys hunt. But, when you watch those shows, you start to think about your own experiences and you're kind of like, I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to have 700 acres of my own place, and I'm not going to have.
I'll say never, Mike. You might one day.
I'm not going to have people to manage it for me to where literally I'm not I might be doing work, but I've got people, putting in plots for me. I've got people, I'm never going to have that. So and I think, when you're starting to think about your own experiences, you start watching shows that kind of mimic or mirror what your chances are going to have,
Sure.
as far as like getting a big buck. So, I think you are, but I think there is still a place for the people that like to sit and watch, Michael Waddell or Lee and Tiffany, or, those folks that are shooting those bigger bucks. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it, man. I'll keep you posted.
Manage it for you.
I don't know
Is
that
that
I'm
free?
going to get to that point, but
You never
that would
know.
be amazing.
You may get, there's all kinds of ways to acquire the money to get 700 acres. Maybe you fall in the aisle 5 at Walmart. Maybe you're in a car accident. I don't know.
But to PK's point, I think a lot of us realize that our chances are going to be very, 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 very it's going to be difficult to come up with that 200-inch buck. So we all really set our sights, and we'd just be happy if a 140 walks up, or a 130 or 125.
Gosh, 140 is big. I mean,
it's very big.
We'd just be happy if a measly 140 walks up.
To show that, everybody's. We get sometimes, you guys aren't experts. I am definitely not an expert. I can assure you, I may have one deer that is close. I don't really score bucks typically. If I had to score one, I may be close to having 140 deer. Everything else is smaller than that. So
Christopher said that, he said he thinks cameras, feeders, mock scrapes keep most mature bucks away. I think there's probably some credibility there.
I'd say the credibility to that is probably human disturbance. It depends on how.
For sure.
The level of being in there, checking your cameras, or how many mock scrapes and how many times you're visiting. Yeah, I mean, that could definitely cause some issues.
Yeah, in this research I looked at today, actually, they showed bedding areas of some mature bucks, and all of their bedding areas were on the end of ridges where there was a west wind, so they could smell anything that was coming. And then they're at the edge where it's like straight down, where you're not going to get there. So they're either going to hear you, they're going to smell you, or, and by the time you get there, they're gone. Mm-hmm. So
you don't even know they're there.
Yeah. They had just a perfect vantage point. And so, how do you hunt those bucks? I mean, some people know that, find those beds and hunt those bucks successfully. Very few. If you can figure that out, you can kill bucks every year. Kill nice bucks every year. And those aren't just trophy bucks that are doing that. Those are mature bucks, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about deer, but we do have something coming up. August 19th, we're having another squirrel hunting tournament. I just kind of got it together for sneaking early and get high with no scent. Well, I don't think you can do that with no scent. But you can sneak in early and get high in a tree. So we're having a squirrel hunting tournament. August 19th, opening day of squirrel hunting season on a Saturday. We got some big prizes coming. The top prize, it'll be a partner, 2-person teams for this. There's research on avoidance to bait by mature bucks. Anyway, I keep getting off track.
Yeah, that's a fascinating comment. We need to have Kyle on to talk about the behavior of deer.
I was going to ask Kyle if he wants to come on next week, but where I'm going to be at the beach, I think I'm going to ask Kyle, if you want to come on in 2 weeks, that'd be even better. Kyle, let's go ahead and book it 2 weeks. All right, tell your wife, no plans that night. So anyway, August 19th, opening day of squirrel season. We're having a squirrel hunting tournament. It's going to be teams of 2, 12 squirrel limit, obviously 6 per person. And the top prize for that is going to be 2 CZ USA 22 rifles.
Wow.
They're valued at $560 a piece. So what is that? $11.20.
Let's go.
Yeah, $11.20 total for the top prize. I know that third place is going to be 2 Onyx memberships. I don't have second place yet. So if you got some connections to people in the hunting industry, which we have quite a few, I need a significant prize for second place, right? I don't want it to be you get on a $1,100 prize down to a $50 prize, but we got to figure something out. So we want everyone. I'm going to post about it in the morning. We need to be present, John. We need to be present for the tournament. If you want to win, you got to be present for the tournament. You got to hunt. If that's what you mean, I'm not sure. To win the prize, you have to hunt to win the prize. You have to win. You have to have the longest 12. You either have to have 12 squirrels and everyone else has 11 or less. If you have 12 and somebody else has 12, it comes down to who has the longest. So we'll post that in the morning or sometime tomorrow, and we want everyone. Last time we had 450 people sign up. Last time we had a big prize.
Yeah.
This time I'd like to get 500. 250 teams. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a long day for me and Mike to figure out the winners. It'll be a ton of fun. I can't wait.
Hey, I can't remember. We'd have to go back and look at that post, but I think like over 150 squirrels were killed in that tournament.
Yeah, and that was a low. We had 450 show up, but it ended up being it was in the winter. It was a very cold morning, and we had a lot of people that decided to stay in.
Yeah.
This time, I think with those rifles, people have not been able to do much unless it's like crazy hot. Then I think we'll have a lot of people show up. I think we'll kill a lot of squirrels. Any cooking contest? Not yet, PK. I think we're gonna do a bass fishing tournament, maybe a kayak tournament. And the squirrel hunting tournament is not public land. You can go in your backyard if you want. I don't care. We're just gonna kill a lot of squirrels.
It's gonna be with the hickories. Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
No shotguns. Has to be 22s, air rifles, or 17 HMRs. No shotguns. And we can tell from pictures if it's a shotgun or that. How many squirrels were the winning? I think every time we have a limit.
Yep.
We've had a tie. We've done this twice in the past, and we had like several teams tie, and then they have to literally stretch out their squirrels, measure from nose to the longest hair, and that's what always wins. There's always a squirrel that has like a crazy long hair at the end of their tail, and that wins. So,
well, we had to do like a second squirrel in that one tournament. The two ones that they measured ended up matching, and then they had to do another squirrel. That was crazy. It was cool though.
We had a tiebreaker and then another tiebreaker. Jonathan said he would love to participate, but he's got a working weekend at her hunting property in Ohio. Well, that's a good reason to miss. WO says most of the hunting shows are not realistic for the average hunter. 100% agree, WO. I believe they give a false belief that big bucks are everywhere. You just have to wait them out, and that's just not the case. There are certain places that just produce big deer year after year. Not all land is created equal, no matter how much effort you put into it. WO, you're 100% dead on.
Yep.
And that's really my problem. That's why, I worked for a company for the last couple of months that's what we did. We worked with Lee and Tiffany. We worked with Greg Ritz and Hunt Masters. We worked with Wall Hangers. We worked with some of these big hunting shows. And they're fantastic people.
Mm-hmm.
Great people. But the guy that run the company was talking to me about some of these shows, and he's like, have you seen this and this? And I'm like, bro, I don't watch hunting. I don't watch the Outdoor Channel. I don't watch Pursuit Channel. He's like, are you serious? You don't know this? And I'm like, bro, it's all fake. It's all fake. I mean, you just sit there in a blind. Someone drives you to a blind on a four-wheeler, and there's a deer feeder there, and you're on a ranch, and you spent $5,000 to hunt there, and then you kill a deer. That's just not relatable to the average person. Is there anything wrong with it? Absolutely not. Do it if you want to. It's just not relatable. And so I hated that. And he's like, well, who do you watch? I'm like, first of all, I don't watch anything that has commercials, which is what we did was commercials. But I watch YouTube or Meat Eater. He's like, anyway, he was, we didn't get along.
That's interesting.
Huh?
That's interesting, though. I mean, there's a dynamic there that has to be worked out because there's the dynamic is like that you've got this group that likes that, and then you got the group that wants to watch the hunting public and things that are a little bit more.
Well, we didn't get along. That's not the reason we didn't get along. We didn't get along because he just wasn't. He's a good dude. Terrible owner.
Well, it just sounds like he's not receptive to ideas, is what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Am I preaching?
Yeah, that has many layers. Scott says, so my back deck, hot coffee, just whacked the squirrels out of my hickories. Absolutely, Scott. But you have to bring your son along so you can get 12 because you can only do 6. So there you go. Son, daughter, wife, whoever. But yeah, if you want to sit on your deck and kill 12 squirrels, go for it. That's what Mark does.
I've done it. Yep. Throughout the fall last year, I've got my backyard is all woods. There's nothing back there behind my house. And throughout the fall, I was getting them with my my air rifle that I got from
North American Trapper.
North American Trapper, yeah.
I'm gonna hunt with my air rifle too. I thought I had it around here. That's a muzzle loader though. It looks just like it. I got to get it sighted in good. I have killed one squirrel with it. This squirrel was out of season, so sorry. But it was destroying my soffit at my house. It was trying to get in my deck. I had to kill it. I see. Kill it. I had to. I need a nuisance tag or something. I don't know. My 18-month grandson, sure. 18-month-olds are killing turkeys during youth weekend. You might as well let him kill squirrels, right? Philip says, let's be honest. And Mikey, if you need to go, you go ahead. We're just rambling now.
No,
if we could all afford places like that and have ability to hunt those places, then we would.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot more people relate to THP because it's the majority. Philip, if I could afford a place like that, I would put in food plots, I would have mineral sites, and I would have feeding sites. Yep. Absolutely.
And we'd also have probably multiple blinds to sit in.
I'd have ladder stands. I would have shooting houses that were air conditioning for my kids. Yeah, I do all that, or heated for my kids. I do all that. But I don't have a TV show. Here's the thing with the TV shows, and I've heard Steve Rinella talk about this, and he hates this, and this is why I like him. If you see a guy draw his gun or his bow in a TV show, it was probably not at the time he was shooting that animal. If you see him sneaking through a cornfield, there's probably not an animal within a mile of him. It's all that's staged, right? Most of all that's staged. If they're a lot of times they're getting tree stands, there's not even their tree stand. Somebody's already hung that tree stand for them, unless they're hunting their place. So it's just so much stage stuff, except for setting in the blind, making the shot. That's my problem with it. I just want it to be real. I want it to be real. So Philip said, never knew that. I have access to 230-acre private farm. It's the best place to hunt by far, huge deer, but can't always hunt it, and it's not mine. Yeah. That's the problem with hunting someone else's land. They get the final say.
True. Very true. Yeah. I've talked about it, our little place that my uncle has. We've got about 65 acres, 70 acres, give or take a little bit. And we have a few box blinds that we built. One was for my grandpa who has since passed. But his box blind's still there. We have 2 of them. And, I don't really sit in them very often, but occasionally I'll get it's one of those sentimental things. I'll jump up in it, and it's just kind of like you feel that he's there with you, and you just look for deer and watch for deer. But anyway, we have some of those things on our place, and for one, it's fun to do that stuff. It's fun to get together and fellowship and build a blind or hang tree stands or whatnot. It's fun.
I'm all for that. I'm just saying the guys that do it on TV shows, a lot of the TV shows is staged. The kill isn't staged. The final kill isn't staged.
Right.
A lot of the other B-roll crap is just staged, and I just don't like it. Scott said he has a lot of gray squirrels and some good fox spots. You better kill the fox squirrels. The gray ones will not win. If there's a tie, you're going to lose if you have grays. Nathan says, where are we hunting this fall? Nathan, Peabody WMA. I posted about it. Go sign up. We got about 10 spots left. We're capping it at 25. Giving away free Onyx memberships, giving away some goodie bags from Uncle Lee's. Going to be a great time. And Nathan's bringing some bourbon. No obligation, but if you want to try a little, No, there is an obligation to Nathan to bring bourbon. He is the bourbon guy, but there's no obligation to try it, right? And we're asking that everyone be responsible. Everybody's signing a thing at the sign-up sheet that says, if I do something stupid, it's my own fault. This person says he's Peabody ready, and so am I. It's still hunting, and it's always better than not hunting.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Philip.
Philip, we need to chat about food plots because I geek out about that stuff.
Yeah, you need to give Philip some info. Camping with the kids, Stillwater Camping Ground.
Good stuff.
Is that right now, Kyle, or is that in 2 weeks when you're trying to come on the show, when I want you to come on the show?
I think he said he could a little bit ago. He said he could come on.
Try a little. You bring in a barrel, I will sign a waiver. Bringing a barrel. I mean, you could try, if you try a little, you don't need a barrel. I'm so confused. Scott confused the heck out of me. But he is crushing it in the USA Bassin tournaments. Scott is. Him and his son finished first.
Yeah.
Here's what WO says. My point is, a hunter, you can hunt certain property your whole life looking for that giant buck and letting smaller bucks walk, waiting for something that's not there, missing out on some good deer meat. Absolutely. You're right. And you know what? I'll give you the other side of that, WO. The biggest deer ever killed in Kentucky, like 254 inches, 54 points or something like that, by Troy Wilson. He had been on vacation. He went out to hunt and got in his tree stand. After like an hour, he decided to get down and go back to meet like his dad and his brother or something. And there was the world record velvet deer 100 yards from him. They never knew that deer was on their property, and he shot it, and the rest was history. So now this was back in like early 2000s, late 90s. I think it was early, like 2001 or something like that.
I think so.
So he, this was before cell cams. This is before, he's running 1,000 cams on a property. But he had no idea that deer was there, and it was 254 inches, and he just got down from the ground and shot it. So, yeah, I mean, not all places grow big deer, and some places have big deer that none of us even know about, which is
true.
The truth a lot in Eastern Kentucky. Bub says he signed up for Peabody, been studying the Onyx. Well, hey, you can study it for free when you get there, Bub. I'm giving you a free membership. We talked about camping with the kiddos. Stillwater Campground north of Frankfort may not have time to get folks together. Oh, yeah. Kyle wants to meet at the campground here in Frankfort. I thought you were already there, Kyle. And get together and camp and maybe hunt. I don't know. We didn't really go into detail about it. John, that one spot we scouted out when we were down there, that was a good spot. That was. It may be good, PK, October, first week in October, acorns hitting the ground, maybe a good spot right there. Yeah, we met those hunters from Pennsylvania. I hate those stories when someone froze out and killed a monster at 7:30 a.m. heading back to the truck. Well, WO, I understand that, but Troy Wilson is one of the best guys in the world. So if it's going to happen to anyone, and he had just got back from vacation, I mean, he's a killer. So he deserved it. But, yeah, that was a if it had been archery season, he wouldn't have killed it because it's too far away.
Mm-hmm.
Just all worked out. Just a weird freak happenstance, then he capitalized.
Yep.
So, and that buck has been marched all around the country when he killed it. So, well, fellas, I'm going to hop off here, and it's been fun. Glad Adam came on. We didn't get to talk a lot about this deer survey. We probably won't get to next week either, but we'll come back. We're going to talk deer from now until January, right? So we'll try to keep it interesting. We'd love to hear from you guys. So if there's something you want to hear about, if there's somebody that you want on the show that's interesting, then let us know. Otherwise, and if you want to come on the show, heck, well, we don't care. As long as you don't babble. We just don't want people that rant and babble. You got to keep it short so we can keep people moving, But we'd love to have you. Philip says, boys, be safe out there. Mike, I'll holler at you. Mike, try to get him to the event on Saturday.
Sounds good.
Next Saturday. How to kill with a gun.
Was it muzzleloader?
It was WO was muzzle loader, and it was a freak deer. Hold on, let me show you.
Yeah, it was massive. We posted about it. Last year, because it was his 25th anniversary or something like that last year.
Oh, it was 2002, 20th anniversary. Yeah,
20th.
Yeah. It was one of those messed up deer.
Yeah, it had like 50. It had like 50 something point. It was like a
54
cactus
points,
buck almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Oh, I got the picture here.
Yeah, it was an absolute monster.
Right there. See that?
There it is. Wow. That's insane.
Look at this. I mean, I don't even know how you measure that.
No, that's wild. It's still amazing to see. That's just wild.
It's crazy.
Also, absolutely love his hat.
What does it say? You save?
No, it's just that old style Realtree camo.
If you look up Troy Wilson Buck, my story is actually the second link. So
nice.
Mike, if you or WO, I'm going to put this in here. WO, I put the link in the comments. WO, you can go and read the story about it and how it happened. I have all of it in there. So, but Troy Wilson's a heck of a guy. Heck of a guy. So, anyway, go read that, WO. Share it with your friends. All right, guys, 12 viewers, 10, 18. Mike's kids and wives, wife have already been in there telling him, hurry up. Dinner's ready. Yeah, but anyway. Mike, any final words?
I'm just excited. I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that I'm back and being more consistent. Where baseball's kind of wrapped up and over, and Tuesday nights are free now. So I'm excited to talk deer, and I've really enjoyed seeing everybody's comments and chatting with everybody. And hope we come back next week with some more fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think next week maybe we should talk about. We talked about going to Fort Knox, and you talked about how those Eastern Kentucky hunters just walk around and ruin it for everyone. So maybe we can talk about that
next week. Yeah, okay.
All right, fellas. If you have questions about the event, the squirrel hunting tournament, the public land camp, 4 of them that we have, guys, we got so much going on. And we're doing this because we want to see you guys. We want to meet you, want to, grow the page, grow the following. And starts. We got August 5th. August 19th, October 6th, October 21st. We got a bunch of dates, so I can't wait. Mike, thanks for being on here. Guys, if you have questions, reach out, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all later. Have a good one.